Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Welcome in. So many cool people in the chat already, and we're just getting started. Hello. Hicks, welcome in. Goldie, hello. Goldie is our author, by the way, if you didn't know that, of this fantastic book. So definitely say hi to him. Angelic Julie, hi. You've redeemed hammer curls. Of course you have. I have to go find my weights. I think they're in there's a room over here. Dark Angel, hi. Thank you for coming in and saying hello. For those, well, none of you really know this yet, but Dark Angel is the author of this book, Pixie Dust. And I'm bringing it up because Pixie Dust is our next book after we finish the Bubonic Reorder. We only have about, say, 100 pages or so left of this book. And I can't believe it, because it's like, I feel like we just got started a few weeks ago. And now we're only 100 pages away. It's crazy. So I'm letting you know right now that this is our next book, and Dark Angel is the author. So it's crazy how fast this stuff goes. When I was planning this all out, I was like, wow, I've got like 5 or 6 books here. This is going to take forever. And we're in the beginning of December, and I'm like, I need to find more books. Crazy. And Here There Be Monsters is in the house. Hey guys. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. It's great to have you here. For those of you that don't know, Here There Be Monsters is a couples that stream. Very awesome people. They have a huge community. They're absolutely fantastic to hang out with. They're a lot of fun. How are you guys doing? Hope you're well. What are you streaming later today? I forget. You stream like all the time, so I can't remember. But yeah, and Aronel's in the house. Aronel, hi. One of my mods. Also a reading streamer and fun person to be around. Aronel, could you please do a shout out for Here There Be Monsters? I do appreciate that. When you come back, anyway. And Stun Papa, forcing a hydrate. That's a good idea. This is for you. And Adley is here. This is my first connection. Hello, Adley. Welcome in. I'm a reading streamer, and we play Stream Raiders. And we sometimes try and catch Pokemon as well, if we're lucky. Alright, so, first things first. I need to do the weights before I forget, so hold on. Oh, and Aronel, thank you. I'm going to shout you out, but could you also shout out Angelic Julie? Because she's quite the fun person to hang out with, let me tell you. Aronel. Kendi. Aronel is not affiliate yet, so go check her out. Help her out. Give her some follows. She does an amazing job with just using a tablet. She streams from a tablet. So there you go. You can stream from anything. Doesn't matter. Just need a connection and off you go. Alright, let me go find my weights. Okay, we have weights. And kicking my chair out the way, we have requested 10 hammer curls, so I'm going to do those right meow. Alright, thank you, Julie. Thank you for that redemption, keeping me fit. Thank you. Thank you, monsters. Appreciate that. How heavy is the weight? They are 25s. I have a set of 20s as well, but finally bumped up. Let's see. What'd I miss? Well done, Aronell, on wasting your points. Good job. I'm so excited to introduce Pixie Dust. I'm currently working on edits for the second book. Okay, so is the second book a sequel, or is it just another book? I can't tell. Quite curious, though. Put on some shades. Alright. Wow, I'm not doing very well today. They're not even in the room. Okay, here's the deal, Stump Papa. I can't find my black sunglasses. So, I'm gonna give you red. And I'll wear them for a little bit longer, just for you. Whoa, what is going on? Okay. Aronell, thank you. Subscribing for 4 months. You're on a streak. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much. And Here There Be Monsters gifting 100 bits. You guys are awesome. Oh my... Aronell, what are you doing? Red works is my favorite color. Aronell, you just gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Enter creative name here. Stacy, Dark Lord, 74 Goldie, and 13th Age. What? Thank you so much. That's amazing. You are incredible. And Matt's in the house, CB Matt 8, now streaming on YouTube. Party City in here. It absolutely is. I haven't even had a chance to talk about a book yet. Oh man, Matt, thank you. Thank you for those bits. 100 bits from you. Thank you so much. And now, of course, there's a train. Train's rolling into the station, folks. You guys are amazing. And Stunt Papa, what are you... I can't keep up with this. Thank you for that gifted sub to Adley. Adley, welcome to the community. Welcome to the Shade Network. Wow. You guys, I'm a little overwhelmed right now. I don't even know what to say. You guys are killing me slowly. Zebra, what are you doing? You're supposed to be shooting people on Fortnite right now. Hi. Welcome in. So much hype. So much hype. My heart is hyping as well. Thank you, Stunt Papa. You're a great person. Okay, so Stunt Papa is married to Stunt Mama, and Stunt Mama is the streamer, and she's fantastic. So I'm gonna do the shout out for that because it means a lot to me. Please go check out Stunt Mama if you like scary type games, or more importantly, if you like to make the streamer jump and freak out on stream while she's playing a scary game. Go check out Stunt Mama. She uses Dixper, and she has, a few point redemption sounds as well that make her jump, like a door slamming and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. I have a great time when I'm in there. So go check her out. And Stunt Pop is in there modding for her. He's a fantastic dude. We chat sometimes on the side on Discord. Just a fantastic human being. So if I ever find myself back in Ohio, I'm definitely looking you guys up because I would love to hang out with you. I'll even perhaps read a book to your children. Maybe they like books too. I'm not sure. You are too kind, please do. Absolutely, man. Look, I don't talk about the Twitch community as a whole very often, but I need to do that because I have found such a warm embrace with all of you guys. Seriously. I've been going through some pretty dark, scary moments in my life, just figuring myself out with everything that's been going on. And when I found Twitch was actually through CBMad8. He's the one that kind of got me introduced to it when he broadcasted himself on Instagram saying that he was going live, and I was like, what the heck is this? Never heard of Twitch before. But through that experience and meeting people and feeling the love, Aranel. Oh, girl, you're making my heart explode, in a good way, not in a weird, like, you know, hospital way. Anyway, I'm off track. My point is, the Twitch community has embraced me so much, and I love what I've seen and I've heard and all the different people I've met. And yeah, there's been some weird moments and some stuff that I wish I could, reverse and not experience. But that's you're gonna run into that every now and again. But as a whole, Twitch has been an amazing experience for me, and it's because of all of you guys, and I appreciate it so freaking much. Yes, that's a good point. Thank you, Aranel. So, for those of you that don't know, because you are now subbed, you should have access in my Discord to a sub-only read that occurs on Saturday nights, most of the time, unless I have to switch out the schedule. Saturday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, we are reading privately through Ready Player One. It's a fantastic book. It's so fun. And we have a great time in Discord. I have the mic open, so if you want to use your mic, you can. You can be on camera if you want to. Like, it's a very, together engagement kind of community. You don't have to just sit there and type like you do here. So yeah, you have access to that now. And if you don't know what the Discord is, here is the link to that. Feel free to jump in. And a level 2 hype train. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. I adore all of you so much. I can't even tell you. Okay. On that note, let's change gears. We have a big Stream Raider battle to take care of. We're on the boss, folks, okay? We are on the boss. So, I'm gonna need all your units. If you can throw down some epics, that'd be amazing. But we are gonna start this battle and we are gonna dominate. See? Yeah, it's not even a difficult map. Alright, can we do melee here? I know melee and archers are kind of the thing. So, I'm gonna throw down a melee unit, but let's see what happens here. Let me set us up a quick battle plan, okay? Let's get a line of tanks in the front. Let's get some melee behind that. And then, of course, get some archers. Let's see. Where'd that go? Let's put a flag in here and here. And, of course, if you want to place, stuff because you need it for a quest, or you have a unit that you just desperately want to use because you think it's going to rock the world, by all means do so. Easy battle plan. This should be a dominating Stream Raiders. I'm not worried about it. You shouldn't be worried about it either. Zan's in the house. Hey Zan, how you doing? Good to see you. We're just getting ready to fight a boss battle in Stream Raiders. And now that my heart has calmed down, let me give you a quick recap on what it was that we read last time. So, bear with me while I can't see chat. So, last time in the Bubonic Reorder, we read chapters 28 through 30. So let me give you a breakdown of what it was that we discussed, that we read. So, in these chapters, we spent a good chunk of time in Texas. Alex was trying to do some basic grocery store shopping, and all the stores that he had gone to were erupting into absolute madness and chaos. Looting galore, stuff was on fire. I mean, the general public was going absolutely freaking nuts. And it's all because of this virus, right? So everyone's losing their mind. He does finally get to the Russian store where he sometimes will shop. And thankfully, because most people don't realize it's a grocery store because he doesn't have the name grocery on the front, he was actually able to get some supplies that he needed. Not exactly what his wife Sarah wanted, but considering everything that was going on in the community, she was appreciating it. Let's see. As far as the hospital is concerned, where Sarah works, she was experiencing the side effects of the pandemic as far as the how the hospital was handling. And she was basically saying to Alex that every single room in the ER was full, the hallways were full, and then in the main hospital they were double and triple using rooms and hallways as well. The hospital was at beyond full capacity, to be honest. And they were even talking about bringing in the National Guard to help try and, care for people and get everything under control because it was just exploding out of proportion. And then over at Needle, which is the research facility where Angela has been now living, she was bunking with Ethan because they're having a thing. They're doing their lovebird stuff. However, the stress of everything has been getting to everybody. Tempers are starting to boil and bubble over in some cases. And one of the scientists basically dished out some not so nice things to Angela. She had an idea. It was like a round table. They were just throwing out concepts and ideas to try and figure out how to beat this virus. And she thought of something, and this guy Dave basically attacked her for it and basically calling her useless. And then calling out Ethan, who's kind of the boss, Dr. Strong, basically saying, why the heck is she here? She's just your candy at nighttime kind of thing. And Ethan didn't defend her. He defended her being there, but he didn't defend her honor, her respect, her integrity of the situation. And because he didn't do that, she basically lost it, and she's like, screw you, I'm leaving this room. So she tries to go back to her dorm, and she ends up using the wrong key, and in her frustration, the key snaps inside the lock. So now she's also locked out of the room. She can't get into it, and she can't go back to the other room because that's where everybody is. So she's kind of flustered and doesn't know what to do. So that's basically the rundown of what happened. So there you go. Matt says, what kind of thing? Please be specific. Well, Matt, I'm going to suggest you go back and listen to the VOD. Or go to my YouTube page where all the videos are listed. That's my plug for YouTube. Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready for the next round of reading? I hope so, because I am. We are on chapter 31. Oh my word, I wasn't subbed. You're not? I thought you were. Are you not subbed? I don't know. You are now. Okay, cool. So there was a lot of explosion before, so the kindness you guys have thrown my way is just unbelievable. So blam, exactly. All right, we are on chapter 31. It is late August of 2020. We are in the Russian Bear Bar. And this is located in Houston, so we're probably going to be focusing on Alex here, because he's the Russian immigrant and now American, but the Russian Bear is deeply connected to his roots through his father. He spends quite a bit of time there. So, with that being said, let's get into the chapter. After the patron finishes his drink, he drops some bills on the bar and exits the establishment. The bartender steps forward to address the area. He grabs the $20 bill and puts it in the pocket of his waist apron. He picks up the glass and places it on a tray at the corner of the bar. Normally, the waitresses would take the tray of glasses and dishes to the kitchen the next time they head that way to pick up an order. However, today this will be another task he will have to manage. He takes a damp white cloth and polishes the vacated bar surface. He hangs that cloth on a rod in front of a small sink built into the bar. He grabs a dry cloth from a stack on the shelf behind the bar and dries up any excess moisture. When he is done, the spot is ready for the next patron to arrive. Alex watches the bartender intently as he efficiently attacks the task in front of him. The precision of his movements removes any wasted effort. As the final step, the bartender would move to the cash register and press several buttons until the register drawer opens with the ring of a bell. He would place the money and receipt in the drawer. However, there is no point in doing this step today. With the task complete, he returns to the corner of the bar to continue his conversation with Alex. Alex should have left the bar by now. If he doesn't leave immediately, his wife will be asleep by the time he walks through the door. Since his plans to spend at least another hour sitting on this stool, he will also be too drunk to slip into bed quietly. So it will be another night of crashing on the living room couch. Usually, Alex would not choose the Russian Bear as the ideal place to watch a news interview. However, with the departure of the individual at the bar, there are only about half a dozen patrons in the establishment. He wonders why Sergei keeps the place open. Over the course of the summer, hundreds of retail outlets in the area have shuttered their doors. People are staying in their homes and avoiding crowds. There's very little reason to leave the house these days. Military and essential government workers are the only mandatory individuals required to report to work. All other citizens are encouraged to stay home and telecommute if possible. A strict curfew has been placed across the country. Hopefully, the news interview won't go long, or Alex will have a hard time pulling into his driveway by the 10 p.m. deadline. While the curfew is a nuisance to Alex, it does clear the streets so his night shift can easily distribute the food rations. So just as a recap, Goldie wrote this book before the majority of the pandemic outbreak happened. He released this book earlier this year, so it's fresh off the press, so to speak. So a lot of this conversation and things that happen or have happened in this book were written before anyone even knew what COVID was. But the freaky thing is how closely this resembles current day life right now. So I say that as a you finished the writing of the book in 2019. That's right. I say this both as a marvel in like, holy cow, but I also say this in case something triggers you, because this is obviously, it's a tough time for a lot of people. It wouldn't be hard for me to say that someone in here has known someone that's gotten COVID or possibly even passed away from COVID. So, just throwing that out there in case something, triggers you. I have to go 9:30 p.m. here in France. Got to see the kids. No worries, Adley. Take care. Thank you for being here. There will be a video of this up later if you want to continue listening, so no worries at all. Alright, so with that in mind, I will continue on. And thank you for that, Sunglasses Redemption. Well said. Thank you, monsters. Appreciate it. Okay. Oh, and of course, completely forgot. If anyone is interested in finding out more about this book, maybe reading the back, or even grabbing a copy for yourself, there's the link down below. Feel free to check that out. Alright, we are at the halfway point of page 314. The Russian Bear is one of the few establishments Alex is aware are open. Sergei lives in the apartment above the bar, so the Russian Bear practically acts as his living room. The patrons these days are locals who can walk from their homes to the bar. The owner avoids the authorities shutting him down by telling them he is just having some friends over to kill some time. He does not charge for the drinks, although everyone is courteous enough to leave a donation. Sergei stopped serving food about a week after the government took over the food distribution. Restaurants and bars were not on the truck routes. However, the Russian Bear brews all of its own beer on the premises, and the owner has enough supplies to wet Alex's tongue for another 3 months. However, the supply of bottled hard liquor will be gone in a couple of weeks by his estimation. Oh, sorry, thought I missed something. Never mind, carrying on. Hi, Kebo. The Russian Bear has 3 television screens behind the bar. The center and right screens show various sporting events. The right television is usually a soccer match, while the center television is the sporting event of the day. The left monitor is reserved for CNN. Alex's regular seat is in the left corner of the bar. From there, he can see enough of the other screens to get a feel for how each sporting event is going. When the bar is empty, the owner relaxes in the corner, and the two turn the volume up on the TV so they can hear the analysis of the news pundits. When the bar is busy, Alex can get the high-level summary from the scrolling news ticker at the bottom of the screen. When he finished his shift today, Alex realized he did not have enough time to make it home for the interview. But he could make it to the Russian Bear. He texted his wife and told her his plans, and then drove directly to the bar. He arrived with 10 minutes to spare and settled into his regular seat. He could have sat in any seat at the bar, as they were all empty now, but he is most comfortable in the regular corner position. Allegedly, this doctor is going to explain how his team has discovered a cure for the SARS outbreak, the bartender says to Alex. I want to see if he is full of shit or not. Hopefully, this cure will calm everyone down. Oh wait, this is Alex talking. I thought this was the bartender. Starting over. Sorry, my bad. I want to see if he is full of shit or not. Hopefully, this cure will calm everyone down, and Sarah can get back to some normal hours. Since this outbreak, everyone and their brother shows up at the hospital thinking they're dying. Sometimes a cold is just a cold and not a deadly pandemic. She has been working 12-hour days, 6 days a week. I'm not sure how much longer she's going to be able to keep this up. Alex finishes his whiskey and asks Sergei to get him a refill before the interview starts. Moments later, the bartender returns with Alex's drink. "Hey, this is the historic event happening. Be sure to listen." He calls over to the bar as the other patrons are aware the interview is starting. He reaches to the side of the television and turns up the volume so the interview can be heard throughout the bar. Alex is assaulted by the sound of teenage kids enjoying ice-cold cola as a reward for winning the big game. The brand name splashes across the screen with its refreshing tagline voiceover. The commercial ends, and the logo of the interview show dashes across the screen accompanied by a dramatic score. The host, Christine Jennings, then appears on the screen and addresses the viewers. Alright, this is going to be my attempt at a female host on TV, so bear with the accent, okay? I am not a professional voice actor by any means. Okay. Good evening, and welcome to Examination with Christine Jennings. We start this evening discussing the SARS pandemic. We will have an interview with Dr. Ethan Strong from the National Emerging Infectious Diseases Laboratories, whose team has developed a cure for the SARS outbreak. Currently, this revolutionary breakthrough is being mass-produced and distributed around the world. Key first responders are receiving the first batch of the vaccine today, with future production being distributed to the masses. Ultimately, the complete global population should have the vaccine by the end of the year. Dr. Strong will explain this breakthrough and how it will end this tragic outbreak. Finally, our regular panel will discuss the global aftermath of the 2020 SARS outbreak. As always, we have Travis White, economics professor at Columbia University, Susan Fredrickson, political lobbyist at the Washington, DC-based firm Clouty and Stern, and Jelena Yang, historian and author of the novels The Rising Empire and Media Blitz. We now turn to producer Jessica Hine to provide the latest update on the SARS outbreak. So there you go. That is my terrible voice acting. You're welcome. Great job. You're being kind. The screen fades away from Christine Jennings, and Jessica Hine's voiceover begins as images of patients, hospitals, and quarantine cycle across the screen, and the introduction music to the produced segment begins. Jessica Hine begins the segment with a shocking proclamation. The 2020 SARS outbreak is projected to become the deadliest killer known to mankind. As she makes the statement, a graphic of the deadliest pandemics appears on screen. And I guess this would be more of a fun visual than me describing it, but I'll do my best. So there you go. There's some cool detail in this book. Our author, Goldie, has done a fantastic job putting in a ton of effort into this book with realization and just a mix of fact and fiction. So it's definitely worth the applause on that one. Not only is the 2020 SARS pandemic projected to kill more people than any other pandemic, it has already killed more people than all U.S. military wars combined, she continues. The graphic moves to the next set of statistics. Jessica Hine begins speaking again. The impact of the 2020 SARS outbreak has been felt around the world. The severity of the impact has been strongest at the epicenter of the outbreak. The death toll in China alone is believed to have surpassed 35.1 million casualties. More than 1.76% of the Chinese population has died from the SARS outbreak. As we move away from the Chinese epicenter, we can see that the death rate percentage declines. North America had the second lowest, only to the Oceania region. Isolated Pacific islands populate much of that region. The largest country by size and population in that region is Australia. Australia took early, decisive action to limit all travel to Asia at the beginning of the outbreak, which greatly limited its exposure. Japan took the most aggressive action in isolating itself from the world as the outbreak advanced. Japanese officials even took the unprecedented measure to cancel the 2020 Olympics. The bold action resulted in a death rate below 0.2% of the country. This is being praised as the exceptional success, particularly considering Japan's proximity to China. In the United States, all 50 states experienced a SARS-related death, but major ports of call saw the most concentrated death rates. California, New York, Florida, Massachusetts, Illinois, and Texas saw the majority of the U.S. SARS-related deaths. And while the overall U.S. death rate has been among the lowest, several politicians and media outlets claim the delay in action cost millions of U.S. lives. Wow, she's talking for a long time, so I'm going to have to get used to this voice. The 2020 SARS outbreak is only the third pandemic to cause more than 1% of the global population to die. We need to look back over 100 years to the 1918 flu pandemic to find the most recent of these outbreaks. The 1918 flu pandemic claimed about 2.5% of the world population. To reach the only other pandemic to claim more than 1% of the population, we have to look back nearly 700 years to the Black Death outbreak. This deadly killer that spanned 3 years killed more than 16% of the world population. The overwhelming 2020 SARS death toll has created widespread social, cultural, economic, and financial implications. Worldwide travel bans have brought the global supply chain to a halt. Countries have altered their production and distribution to focus inward to service their domestic population. Non-essential product production has been shelved, leading to a plummet in the global stock market and a skyrocketing of unemployment. As the outbreak expanded, the United States suspended all trades of the U.S. stock markets. The major exchanges around the world quickly followed suit. However, that global freeze came only after 75% of market capitalization was lost. The United States Congress passed an emergency measure that froze the prices of all goods and services. In addition, they took over the distribution of all the food and toiletries. The military and local police forces seized control of all the supermarkets and distributed those goods to local residents. The United States has fared better than many countries. The United States' expansive farming and cattle lands provided it the ability to sustain its population with nourishment. Other countries have taken more draconian measures with limited results. These countries lack the underlying resources to self-sustain their populations. The overall death toll will continue to climb before the end of this pandemic. However, new developments from U.S. scientists are expected to bring this tragedy to a quick resolution. Whew. Female voices, I tell you. I'm fine. Alright, continuing on. The shots of the grocery stores and Midwest farmland are wiped off the screen to be replaced by the headshot of an attractive man in a medical lab coat. Oh, here comes Jessica again. Jessica Hines says, Dr. Ethan Strong from the National Emerging Infectious Diseases Laboratory in Massachusetts has discovered a solution to the SARS epidemic. His laboratory team was one of several across the country that was tasked with focusing on a direct solution to the SARS outbreak. These teams have worked tirelessly since May to analyze the SARS method of infection and develop a counter to the disease. That breakthrough came earlier this month. Their theory was tested and then replicated by several labs across the globe. Production of the SARS vaccine began this week and is expected to be distributed to essential workers worldwide before the end of September. The picture of Dr. Ethan Strong fades away and the picture focuses again on Christine Jennings, now sitting in a comfortable armchair across from the live version of Ethan. He is wearing a suit rather than the white lab coat from the photo. The flawless lines and perky smile from the photo are also missing. His eyes are puffy, and lines are etched across his forehead and radiate from the sides of his eyes. Alex wonders if the lab coat picture is simply 10 years old, or if this man has aged under the stress of the task to cure the deadliest disease of all time. Thank you, Jessica. We will speak with Dr. Ethan Strong after this short commercial break, says Christine with her signature swoop and point to the camera as she enters the commercial break. Probably one of those. Hydrate, thank you. Oh, that was a good idea. You don't have to do a female voice for my book because my main character is a girl, so you would be doing it for the whole book. Wait, hold on. You don't have to do a female voice, but the main character is a girl? I'm confused. Which one? I mean, I can make it work. I just have to find the right tone, you know. Oh, she's letting me off the hook. Okay, alright. Then I'll talk like this the whole time. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, well, we'll see how it flows when I get there. But thank you for the heads up. Alright. Carrying on. Alex marvels that there are still commercial breaks. According to Jessica Hines' graphic, millions of people have died in the past few months, yet one still needs to sell beer and televisions. Before the SARS outbreak, Alex was annoyed by all the political ads. He imagines that those soulless politicians use this tragedy, like they use all tragedies, to get donations. Donate to my campaign for Congress, Senate, local dog catcher, because only I can keep you and your family safe. My opponent will be sure to enact policies that will lead to the deaths of millions of Americans. Haven't we had enough loss? Protecting your family today will lead to a bright future tomorrow. I approve this message. Each ad would convey to the television audience. During the break, the bartender returns with a fresh drink for Alex. He removes the empty glass and places it on the tray at the corner of the bar. Let's see. Someone's talking here, and I gotta figure out who it is. Oh, it's the bartender. Alright. I feel like the whole curfew, price freezes, and travel bans were an out-of-proportion response. But the US has had over 1.5 million SARS deaths, and the global death toll is currently 65 million. That is insane. That is like if 1/5 of the United States were dead. We are lucky having one of the lowest death rates, muses the bartender. Agreed. A few deaths can cause a lot of panic. My wife comes home from the hospital and the stories she tells make it seem like a war zone. People are panicked and freaked. Hopefully this doctor has found the magic bullet, responds Alex. He takes a sip of his drink and gets ready for the interview to resume. He knows it is about to start as the blue public announcement screen is splashed across the television. Several times an hour, as a show resumes from commercials, a public safety announcement is displayed on screen. The message is presented with no fanfare. Bold white letters are displayed against a field of blue. Alex has seen the slide so many times that he now has the bullets memorized. Alright, I'm going to pause right there because we have a very important Stream Raiders battle to do. Wow, look at all those fantastic little soldiers just out there doing their thing. Yeah, this will be pretty easy. We're just going to do a high ground right here. And good luck. Bomber took him out. Archers coming in. Tanks at the ready. Oh, man. We really got to get over to this guy. He's the one that's going to be annoying. Push, push, push. Even Charox has an enemy. Hi, Charox, if you're in the chat. Or an enemy. A unit, I mean. Not an enemy. There it is, folks. Victory. Good job, everybody. Substitute getting the monk scroll. Everyone gets a little bit of gold. Good job. Another boss defeated. I'm so proud. Alright. Let's see. Let's go this way. GG's, everybody, indeed. GG. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good warrior map. It's a good range map. Man, we could do a lot of stuff here. Alright, I'm going to lay down a tank for defense. Defense. This will be a very similar battle plan. I just don't want us to get bombarded. So again, we'll have some melee. And then bring in the archers. Place whatever you want outside of that, of course. And just in case, sprinkle in a couple of healers. Just in case. Not too worried. And there's a wild Joltik in chat. Good luck. Alright, let's continue on. So, in the book, there's an image of the public safety announcement that Alex was seeing on the screen. And it's basically everything that we know now living with COVID. So, I don't need to read it because you all know it. With that in mind, I will jump down. So we're on page 321 for those that are following along with the printed copy. The blue public safety announcement is quickly replaced by the sweeping logo of Christine Jennings' interview show. Welcome back to Examination, where we provide in-depth analysis of the pressing events of the day. Currently, there is no more pressing event than the global SARS pandemic. This deadly killer has swept through the population with lightning speed. But on this set tonight, we have the man who believes he can halt this deadly killer in its tracks. Examination welcomes Dr. Ethan Strong from the National Emerging Infectious Diseases Laboratory in Boston, Massachusetts. Christine turns away from the camera and angles herself toward Ethan, saying, "Welcome, Dr. Strong." "Well, thank you for having me," he responds. Our producer, Jessica, provided an excellent summary of the SARS outbreak. However, I believe what is on most people's minds is, How do we stop it? Dr. Strong, I'm told you have the answers to that very question. I believe I do. My team at the National Emerging Infectious Disease Laboratory has developed a solution that will prevent the SARS virus from being able to infect a human host. Well, how is that possible? As Ethan starts, the screen moves away from the studio set and displays an animated graphic of his rehearsed explanation. The human body has a multi-tiered immune defense system. The primary defense can be imagined as a wall that prevents a virus entering the body. An animated wall drops from the sky and covers the expanse of the television screen. Ethan continues to explain. However, the wall is not impenetrable. Yeah, that was correct. All along the wall, there are a series of doors that allow entry into the body. In a cascade, animated doors pop into existence along the wall. Each door has a lock that controls the entry into the body, Ethan explains. On screen, several organisms present themselves at the door and use a key to gain entry. The doors slam shut, and the next organism uses its key to gain entry. Finally, an organism labeled SARS arrives at the door, but its key does not work on the door, and it's turned away. A virus needs to search these infinite sets of doors, looking for the door that matches the key for entry. Gemma, hi, subscribing with Prime, thank you so much. You could use Prime on anyone, but you used it on me. And I appreciate you. Thank you. Welcome in. Oh, hi. We're just making our way through Stream Raiders and, of course, through this fantastic book. Settle in, relax, enjoy the read. The graphic shows the SARS virus trying door after door after door in frustration. Once the body identifies that there is an attempt by an unauthorized intruder, it sends its military to respond. Circles labeled T cells and B cells dressed in military camouflage march toward the wall. If this invader has tried to gain entry in the past, the military is already on the wall and they kill the invader. Military cells shoot down from the top of the wall and kill the SARS virus. If this is the first time the virus has attempted to invade, the immune system must dispatch new soldiers to respond to the threat. The military cells are seen exiting the immune system base and marching to the immune defense wall. The military cells pass through the wall's doors and engage the SARS virus in hand-to-hand combat. Once the SARS virus is dead, the military cells take up position on the defense wall. Sounds like an effective system, interjects Christine. It is, and most of the time it works, but sometimes the virus gets lucky. It does an effective job of disguising itself and manages to find the correct door that matches its key before the military cells knows it's there. This time, the SARS virus sneaks up to the wall in a bandit mask. As it approaches the door labeled ACE-2, it pulls out a key that fits perfectly. The SARS virus enters the door and sneaks off into the distance. The military cells on top of the wall march back and forth, oblivious to the intrusion. The military cells at the immune system base are seen playing poker as the SARS virus sneaks past them. Okay, that's just funny. Virus is the big bad wolf. Confirmed. That's right, 13th. You are correct. So, how do you stop a sneaking virus like SARS? Wonders Christine. If we keep this analogy going, our laboratory team focused on ways to prevent the SARS virus from getting past the immune system defense. Most vaccines attack this problem by reinforcing the door. What does reinforcing the door mean? Questions Christine. We force the immune system to build up its military to recognize and fight the intruder as soon as it presents itself. This is done by introducing a weakened version of the virus that will not cause the body harm, but will cause the immune system to generate the T and B cell antibodies to fight the disease if the stronger version comes knocking. Is this the method you are using to cure SARS? Ponders Christine. No. A key to this method is introducing a weaker version of the virus that is not able to replicate and get the host sick. Teams around the world have been attempting to develop this procedure, but with no success. Our team looked at a different approach. My specialty is in the study of the bubonic plague. Explains Ethan. This disease that killed millions in the medieval times? How does that apply to SARS? Asks Christine. We were working on some findings discovered in recent years by some European scientists. They found that 10% of the European population is immune to the HIV virus. Even after repeated exposure, these individuals did not contract the HIV virus. Interesting, says Christine as she gestures for Ethan to continue. Uh-oh. I just got a winter advisory on my phone. Oh, it's just a wind advisory. Okay, we don't mind those. They're fine. The scientists determined that the CCR5 delta protein, which is the specific door and key used by HIV to enter its hosts, was damaged. The damage to the lock basically made the HIV virus key not work on the door to allow it to gain entry. The scientists traced this protein mutation back through time and determined that it arose suddenly at the end of the 14th century and was heavily present in survivors of the bubonic plague. Those survivors passed this protein mutation on to their ancestors and thus passed on the immunity to HIV. Well, that is amazing. However, I still don't see the connection to the solution to the SARS virus. This revelation made us focus not on reinforcing the door, which was the typical approach, but rather we focused on the lock itself. Could we find a way to damage the lock that the SARS virus needs to enter a host? The SARS virus uses the angiotensin converting enzyme 2, or ACE2, protein to enter a host. For all of you science buff people out there, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. For everybody else, you can just say, oh, good words. This protein is one of the major structural proteins of severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus. It is essential for the interaction of the virus with host cell receptors and subsequent fusion of the viral envelope with host cell membrane to allow infection. My goodness, Goldie, how much research did you do? I mean, did you write this from a laboratory or a library? Whew. Okay. Whoa, that is a lot of scientific sounding words. Can we go back to the animation explanation? Christine says with a chuckle. Sure, Ethan says with an embarrassed smile. In the 14th century, a side effect of the bubonic plague's brutal attack on the immune system was the unintentional damaging of the HIV virus's specific lock of entry. Our first thought was to determine if there was a way to damage the ACE2 lock, the lock used by SARS to enter a host. Did that work? No, we struck out there. We could not find a reliable way to attack that specific lock. But we did find a solution. Have you ever put the wrong key into your house or car door? Sure, more than often than I would like to admit, replies Christine. This was our solution. We found a key that would... Okay, hold on a second. Goldie, did Angela essentially give them the idea, which we just haven't realized yet, with her breaking off the key in the dorm lock? I'm sensing a connection here. You don't have to give it away if you don't want to, but I am sensing a connection. If you think about previous chapters, the book's characters are opening locks with keys, apartment doors, dorm doors, locker doors, and there is attention paid to the keys and the locks. Yes, I knew it. Good job. Well written. This was our solution. We found a key that would fit into the ACE2 lock. Once that key was in place, we essentially broke the key off in the lock. Therefore, when the SARS virus arrives and tries to use its key to gain entry, it has nowhere to put the key. Just like the HIV virus is unable to gain entry through its specific lock, we have created a situation where SARS will not be able to gain entry. So, what key are you using to break off in the SARS lock? This is where science meets faith. The shape of the SARS lock fits an S spike virus protein. We needed to find a similar shaped protein to slip into the SARS lock. Yersinia pestis also has an S spike protein. We are modifying that pathogen to the benign, and then we are introducing its S spike protein in the SARS lock to block it. Tell me about Yersinia pestis, says Christine. Yersinia pestis is the cause of the bubonic plague. I see what you mean by a divine solution. The pathogen you have studied your entire career is the one needed to stop the SARS outbreak, but injecting people with bubonic plague to cure SARS seems a bit counterintuitive. We are only interested in the attaching mechanism of Yersinia pestis. We started with a very weak strain of the plague from an outbreak in San Francisco and at the beginning of the 20th century. We then manipulated the virus to further remove the deadly toxins and offensive techniques it uses to infect people. Like the wrong key, it will fit in the lock, but it will not be able to open the door. Once the plague key is in the SARS lock, it will sit there inert, explains Ethan. Well, that is amazing. Who would have guessed that one deadly virus would cure another? But what is the expected end result? Will we have no more deaths now? Unfortunately, there will still be some deaths. No vaccine has 100% success rate. Our goal is to significantly reduce the ability of the virus to spread and thus slow the pace of the resulting deaths. As Ethan speaks, a graph of projected loss splashes across the screen. So here you go again, just another awesome detail about this book. Here's the graph. It's kind of cool. With the graph present, Ethan continues. The introduction of the vaccine should significantly alter the path of this pandemic. And now that you've found the cure for the deadliest disease of all time, what are you going to do next? Christine questions. Well, my part in this solution is done. The vaccine is currently being produced. First responders should be getting their injections over the next few days. From there, the general population will get the SARS shot and then a booster shot in 10 years. So I can relax now. I plan to go to my cabin in the Berkshires for several weeks and decompress. Alex watches closely as Christine Jennings and Dr. Strong spend the next 5 minutes discussing the impact of this new vaccine approach. Dr. Strong believes this technique may be the key to curing all major diseases in his lifetime. When the commercial arrives, the bartender serves Alex another drink. The pair watches the panel talk about the medical, economic, and religious impact the SARS pandemic has had on the global community. The last 5 minutes are focused on the long-term implications of a potential medical treatment that will cure all diseases. As the segment ends, the bartender steps forwards and turns the sound on the television down. "One more for the road?" he asks. Alex gives him a nod. Moments later, a fresh glass is in front of him. He probably should have stopped drinking at the last commercial break. However, this whole situation is so overwhelming. With each drink, he feels warmth radiate from his throat and then from his core. The sense of anxiety and fear seem to dance in the shadows, pushed back from the glow of the warming fire radiating from inside him. "Think he is full of shit?" inquires the bartender. "I hope not," replies Alex. He finishes his drink. He stumbles toward the front door and has to stop twice and lean on a table to steady himself. He really should have stopped drinking earlier. Alex exits the Russian Bear and moves towards his car. Luckily, the streets will be mostly clear as he races home to beat the 10 p.m. curfew. Whew. And that is the end of chapter 31, ladies and gentlemen. Rio, hi. 5 months. Wow. It doesn't feel like 5 months. Thank you for that resubscription. I hope you're doing well. How are you? And Queen's in the house, and JDR. Holy bucket, so many cool people. Queen, dang, I'm late to the party, but spent some quality time with the guy I like. Oh. Good job on that quality time. That's fantastic. Goldie says the reveals and connections are starting to slip into place. Yes, they are. That was a very intense chapter with, all the details and the interview and just kind of laying it all out there. But through the course of this book, for those that haven't been, involved in all of it, we're now coming to a point where the tide has turned. So in this book, it's almost kind of like modern day today. We've had the option for, the vaccine for a little while now. So this book is kind of like a few months, six or so months behind us, I would say, in real time. So it's really creepy how close this matches up. Like, super creepy. Rio, what are you doing? Thank you for giving those 2 gifted subs, Safe Demon and Old Man CK. Thank you, Rio. Stop it. Queen says just online, sadly, but well, hey, you know what? Time spent with someone is time spent. I'm glad you got to at least talk and hang out. That was great. Let's see. Goldie says there are references to reveals peppered throughout the book, like the constant references to lock keys and doors. Yep, and there are more reveals to come. I have no doubt at all. Whew. Alright, I'm taking a hydrate break. I suggest you all do the same before we get into the next chapter. Alright. Some good stuff going on here? What were you playing last, Queen? King Under the Mountain, of course. You got Average Aim stuck on that game, too. I saw him playing it the other night. And he told me you influenced him, so well done. Good job. What just happened? Gemma? What are you doing? Oh. I feel a little broken right now. Gemma gifting 10 subs. You guys are freaking amazing. The Atkinson.exe has stopped working. Jock, Care Me, Deadly Kisses, Bearded Zero, The Oldest Noob, Mizzy, Gentle Fox, Bubble, Chaotic, and Trayton. You're starting to reach people that I don't recognize. Okay? Like, I know some of those names. Oldest Noob, Gentle Fox, Bubble, Bearded Zero, but there are some names in there that I don't recognize. And yes, I feel a bit broken right now. You guys are killing me. That sub goal was for a new emote, so now I can add another emote to the mix. That's all it was there for. You guys are killing me. God. Thank you. You guys are fantastic. I don't even know what to say. Seriously. I don't know what to say. For someone that writes and reads, I'm kind of at a loss for words right now. Hey, Stunt Mama. Lurking in the background, of course. Okay. My title was set for possible reading stream tonight. Oh, sweet. Gemma's gonna read tonight. What time, Gemma? What? And I'm central. I don't know what time zone you're in, so please make the time zone known as well. Okay. Alright, I'm fine. I don't have tears in my eyes, you do. Okay. Wow. Alright. Yes, tell us what you're reading. I know you mentioned the book the other night, when I was in there. But, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Alright. I am going to do what we're all here to do. We have about 3.5 minutes left on the Stream Raiders battle. And we have chapter 32 to get into. It's a Christmas Carol and being asked to play games. So reading stream tomorrow about 11... Oh, so not tonight. So the reading stream will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central 11 a.m. CST. Cool. I should be back from my doctor's office by then, doctor's appointment, so I look forward to tuning into that, and I hope the rest of you can join as well, so that should be great. Okay. You guys are fantastic. Alright, chapter 32. We are going back in time, so this is a common theme in this book. We will go back to when the bubonic plague, kind of kicked in and was found. No, you're a fantastic, Stunt Mama. I'm just a guy reading a book. You're fantastic. I'm really glad I don't have those crazy, beans that you eat, because I would have been puking by now, I think. All right, so we are going back to October of 1347. We're in Messina, Sicily, and it is the afternoon. For those who listen to the book, it would be great if you could give the book a review on Amazon. Yes, definitely, if you have the ability, find this book on Amazon, use this link right here, give Goldie a review, tell him what you think. I'm going to be doing the same thing once we finish the book, so I can't wait. Alright, let's get into the chapter. Tita stares down at Matteo's body, taking in how different he looks from a couple of hours ago. He's no longer curled up in a fetal position, but is lying flat on his back with his arms folded across his chest. His expression is calm and no longer twisted up in pain. His eyes are closed, hiding any sign of fear or confusion. Finally, his body is dry and cool. Ultimately, Matteo looks peaceful and content. Oh, Goldie, you don't have to answer this, but I have a guess that somewhere along the line, Alex is a descendant from Matteo's son. I could be wrong, but that's just a theory I have. So, take that as what you will. You don't have to respond to it, but that's just my guess. For the first hour after Matteo passed, Tita hugged Luca as they both stared in disbelief at Matteo's corpse. Luca had never considered that his father would die. He figured that after a few days, his father would recover. Each week, Matteo and Luca would take a long walk. These walks were an opportunity for them to bond. Luca loved these walks. They discussed myriad subjects, and his favorite topic was discussing the animals they encountered on their walks. His father appeared so knowledgeable on all the subjects they discussed, but animals were Luca's specialty. He was so excited when his father said, "That is very interesting. I did not know that." He now realizes that this will be the first week he can remember when he will not take a walk with his father. Alright, I'm at the bottom of the page, so I'm just going to pause there for a moment while we do our other Stream Raiders battle. Actually, let's do that right there. Alright, good luck everybody. Let's wipe the floor. Alright, we got 37, 36, counting down, and there's a wild larvitar, I think that's what it's called, in the chat. It's almost over. It's almost over. And it's over. Good job, everybody. Well done. JDR gets the rogue scrolls. Alright. Let's do another battle. Which way do we want to go? Each direction gets us to the chest. It looks like it's the same outcome regardless, so we'll go this way. Ah, this is the one where they reveal over time. Yes, of course, of course. I'm gonna go with a warrior. We'll go right over here. Quick battle plan. A line of tanks. Archers. We'll put warriors in the back this time. And, of course, if you have other units, feel free to place them. Would like a couple of healers and a flag if possible. Alright, there we go. Go get them. Our battalion should be dubbed the Janitors as we mop the floor with the foes. I like that. It's a good idea, 13th. I like it. Alright, back to our story. So Matteo, just for those that weren't aware, had unfortunately gotten the bubonic plague and passed away, leaving his wife and son behind, as you were just hearing. After some time, Tita lets go of Luca. She walks out of the bedroom to retrieve a cloth and a fresh bucket of water. The well is a short walk from her home, but she struggles to retrieve the water because she is exhausted from her emotional grief. There are only a few people collecting water at the well. Tita speaks briefly with a few people who each provide their condolences to her. Through these conversations, she confirms her suspicions. As she visited the well each day over the past week, she noticed that the crowds were getting smaller, but the stories of illness and death were growing larger. She quickly realized that the entire town was facing a catastrophe. There were mentions that God was punishing the town for their blasphemous and decadent ways. These people whispered these accusations as if God would strike them down if he heard. After the discussions at the well, Tita returns with a bucket of cool water. Luca is not in the home when she arrives. She will go look for him, but she wants to get the unpleasant task ahead of her done as soon as possible. She places the bucket on the floor next to the bed. She unfolds a cloth and dips it into the bucket. Tita shrugs, knowing that a cool rag will no longer provide any relief to her beloved. She twists the rag and squeezes out the excess water before she starts her task of wiping down Matteo. This task takes about an hour, as she wipes down every appendage. She is careful to move each limb to ensure she cleans the entire surface area of his body. Finally, she grabs Matteo's left side and rolls him onto his right hip. With one hand and the weight of her body, she keeps him propped up onto his side. She grabs the last clean rag and dips it into the bucket. She starts at his ankles and wipes the back of his legs and backside. She shifts her position to face toward his head. She dunks the cloth one final time into the water and washes his upper back and neck. With her task complete, she gently places Matteo onto his back. She pulls a blanket across his waist to provide him privacy in his death. She folds both arms across his chest and ensures his eyes are closed. Tita gathers the soiled rags and places them into the bucket. As she stands, she looks down on her husband and marvels at how peaceful he appears. About an hour passes before Tita is startled from her thoughts by a knock on her door. She rises from the bed and unconsciously says to Matteo, "Let me see who is at the door." She does not make it to the door before she hears a second round of knocking. Tita opens the door to find a flustered and disheveled clergyman. "Afternoon, Tita. My apologies for taking so long to get to you. I have been visiting homes constantly for the past 4 days. I haven't been back to the church and have been sleeping when I can," explains the clergyman as he walks past her into the foyer. He continues to talk and take off his footwear and places the sandals next to Tita's own. Finally, he stands up straight and looks at her and says, "So tell me the situation here." At the request, Tita's shoulders slump and her head bows as she remembers the grim reality of her situation. The priest needs no words from Tita to understand. He takes a step forward and hugs her close. Her face is pushed up against his frock, and her nostrils will fill with the scent of oil and incense. He asks, "Matteo? Luca?" "Luca is well. He was quite upset when Matteo passed and ran off. I was just about to go out and look for him, she relays. An understandable response. How long has it been? Asks the clergyman. A few hours. I bathed him. He seems so peaceful now. You did well, my child, the priest says comfortingly. I will now rub him down with oil, and we will light the incense to smother the pestilence. I am running low on incense, but I can bring you some more tomorrow. I actually have some left over from when Mateo's father passed. How long should I burn the incense? It can't hurt to burn all you have. He first opens a bottle of water. He pours some of the holy water into his hand and makes the sign of the cross on Mateo's forehead, lips, and chest. Through this holy anointing, may the Lord in his love and mercy help you with the grace of the Holy Spirit. May the Lord, who frees you from sin, save you and raise you up. The priest opens a second bottle and pours a copious amount of oil into his cupped hand. Tita assists the priest by holding up Mateo's limbs as the clergyman covers him in oil. This task goes much faster than when Tita washed Mateo by herself. As the priest oils down Mateo, he whispers, Through this holy unction and through the great goodness of his mercy, may God pardon thee whatever sins thou hast committed by evil use of sight, hearing, smell, taste, speech, touch, and ability to walk. In the 14th century, they thought the disease was from bad smells, and the incense was to smother those bad smells. Yeah, only if that were true. Yikes. Having completed the anointment, the priest stands and grabs his thurible. I'm not sure what that is. He twists off the metal lid and packs it with incense. Using a candle from the bedroom, he lights the incense. He places the lid back onto the thurible and waits a few moments to let the smoke build. With his right hand, he holds the end of the chain attached to the thurible. Oh, I think, okay, Catholic priest, the wafting. Yep, okay, I got it. I remember what that is now. With his left hand, he grabs halfway down the chain. He swings the thurible over Mateo's body 3 times in the sign of a cross. He quotes from Revelation, saying, An angel came and stood at the altar, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of the saints upon the golden altar, which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before God out of the angel's hands. Tita, may this holy smoke carry Mateo's soul to heaven, being delivered by angels to the Lord our God. Praise the clergyman. Thank you, Father. What are the next steps? Tita, these are not normal times. The town has seen an unprecedented amount of death these past few days. There are not enough prepared lots to bury our dead properly. Even worse, there are not enough people to assist in the burials. The priest solemnly explains. So, what is being done? Demands Tita. We have started a funeral pyre on the outskirts of town. I would recommend this course instead of the burial pits. There seems to be more dignity in the former option. Do you have anyone who can help carry Mateo to the pyre? Asks the priest. I am sure Fantino and Roberto would help me, suggests Tita. Oh, Tita, I am so sorry. I performed last rites for Fantino and Roberto yesterday. They are in heaven already. I had to search the Bible for days finding all these quotes. Yeah, I bet you did. Dear God, exclaims Tita. What is happening out there? Is it the end of days? I have been asked that question a lot these past few days. I don't believe it is. I believe in a just and merciful God, who has a plan for us all, like Noah. We may not be able to understand or may not be willing to accept his plan. Proverbs says we should trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding. Instead, in all our ways submit to him, and he will make our path straight, quotes the priest. The Lord works out of everything to its proper end, even the wickedest days of disaster, recites Tita. You are right. Proverbs says that as well. I believe that his plan, whatever it is, will deliver us to a more perfect existence. Believe that, my child. Look for God's mercy in these terrible times. I will try, Tita promises. The clergyman gathers his equipment from administering last rites. He has conducted more rituals these past 4 days than he has performed during his entire career. He wishes Tita good tidings and informs her that he will send someone along to collect Matteo. As the priest opens the door to exit, a young boy on the other side of the door surprises him. He recognizes Luca immediately, as the boy is the spitting image of his father. The boy's eyes are bloodshot, and dried tears have cut a path through the dirt and ash on his cheeks. His hair is disheveled, which seems to fit with the untidiness of his clothing. Hello, Luca. How are you holding up? Inquires the priest. I am well. Thank you for asking, Father Ramiro. Luca responds with canned politeness. Clearly, the boy is putting on a brave face. How could he be doing well, all things considered? The priest pauses in the doorway and retrieves one of the bottles from his bag. He pours some liquid into his hand. He proceeds to bless Luca. May the Lord God bless you and deliver you to safety. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. He recites as he makes the sign of the cross on Luca's forehead. He turns and repeats the blessing and action for Tita. The priest closes the door behind him, leaving another family in tatters. He retrieves another instrument from his bag. It is a short, sharp knife that he removes from his protective sleeve. He moves it to the left side of the door frame and marks one large X into the wood. He makes the mark large and wide to ensure it is visible to anyone passing. The mark is to inform the volunteers from his congregation who are assisting in addressing the bodies of the deceased. Each X on a doorframe indicates there is a deceased person inside the residence. A mark on the left side of the door indicates the body is to be delivered to the funeral pyre, while a mark on the opposite side indicates the body should go to the mass grave on the road out of town. After the volunteers collect the body, they are to etch a circle around the X to indicate the task is complete. The man Ramiro is again a nod toward my love of zombies. The priest sheaths the knife and returns it to the bag with the oil, water, and incense. As the priest turns away from the door, he hears, Father Ramiro, you are needed over here." He steps towards the home of a middle-aged woman calling his name, on another mission to provide comfort where he can. It's not until the next morning that the men with the priest mentioned arrive to collect Matteo. Tita and Luca walk behind the men carrying Matteo. The men fall in line with the other volunteers carrying other husbands, wives, and children. Soon, even more volunteers with more deceased fall in line behind Tita and Luca. The scene makes a solemn procession of friends, neighbors, family, and strangers being delivered to their final destinations. Tita suddenly stops and calls out to the volunteers carrying Mateo. "I cannot go on any farther," Tita states. "Are you all right, my lady?" questions the volunteer. No, I am not. I cannot watch Mateo be..." Tita falters and cannot continue. "We understand," the man says as he gestures to the other volunteers. "Several families have said goodbye at their homes. It is fine if you do the same." "Is it?" Tita ponders with guilt. "Yes, your husband knows you love him," the volunteer says to comfort her. The men lower Mateo to the ground. Tita bends down on her knee. She leans over and kisses Mateo's forehead. In despair, she throws her arms around his shoulders and holds him tight for several moments. Then she stands and steps back. Not knowing what to do, Luca repeats the actions he just observed. The volunteers pick Mateo up once again and re-enter the funeral procession. Tita and Luca stand on the side of the road and watch the morbid parade until Mateo is out of sight. That evening, Tita makes the decision to leave Messina. She hypothesizes that there must be a safe place for her and Luca. By this time, the majority of the townspeople are dead or sick. Her friends and neighbors are dead, and she now has no prospects or support left in Messina. She decides she will head west and find a place not devastated by this destruction. She has extended family in Palermo and hopes that they will lend their support. She knows it will take some time, but she can follow the coastal road to reach the port city. She spends the evening preparing for the journey. She fills her bag with dried meat, fruit, and water. She adds a set of extra clothing for herself and Luca. As soon as the task is complete, she informs Luca that it is time for bed because she wants to get a start first thing in the morning. And can you imagine, even with COVID right now, if, let's say the neighborhood that you lived in, take that for example, if the majority of the people in your neighborhood they've all died, and now all of a sudden there's literally nothing that you can do, that would be unbearingly overwhelming. I can't even imagine what that must feel like in real life. But knowing that it actually happened is even worse. This isn't fiction. It's obviously fiction in how it's written, but the event itself is real. It's just crazy to think about. Tita is up before daybreak. She checks her bag and Luca's bag for the journey. Satisfied that she has enough rations and all the money they own, she wakes Luca. After a short breakfast, she informs him that they are ready to leave. "Where are we going?" Luca ponders. "To see relatives and Palermo," responds Tita. "Is it far?" "It is. If we are lucky, we should be able to arrive in less than 2 weeks. I have packed everything we need for the journey," she explains. "Did you pack my wolf?" "I did not, but we definitely need him for the trip. He can scare off all the predators on the road," she says to comfort Luca. "Shivy, hi, how you doing? Welcome in. Aranel, if you're still there, can I get a shout out for Shivy, please?" Shivy builds zoos. And she does other things too. She also has really fun movie nights in her Discord. "It's not a real wolf, Mama," he responds with confusion. Tita shakes her head, forgetting how big Luca is now. "The oldest noob, hey man, you got gifted a sub, my friend." welcome in. Hold on. Aranel? Or any of my mods, actually. Aranel, Bubble, Matt, if you're still here, can I get a shout out for Shivy and the Oldest Noob? The Oldest Noob does a lot of stuff at night, my time, like late in the night, 10 p.m. Central, 11 o'clock Central, because of his schedule. But he's a fun guy to watch and hang out with, I'll tell you that much. Tita and Luca start their journey by heading west down the main road out of town. The day is unseasonably warm, but a breeze from the east provides them some relief. She is struck by how empty the streets of the once bustling port city are. They walk past the merchant shops to find not one open. As they walk, the merchant shops give way to a residential neighborhood similar to their own. Again, the streets in this part of town are barren. Finally, Tita can hear the noise of a crowd ahead of them in the distance. Ah, thank you, Aranel. I appreciate you. As the main road leaves town, the homes flanking the road become more spaced out. The road then takes a sharp turn to the left, around a hill, and then stretches straight for a few miles, leading to the estate homes. With each step, the murmur of the voices get louder. Tita still cannot see what has drawn the residents out this far. That breeze, which was thus far at their backs, shifts and now strikes them head on. There is a distinct smell on the air. Tita smells smoke and cooking meat. She wonders if the townspeople are having some sort of festival or party, maybe a gathering to honor those who have passed. Possibly, she shall not pass! Okay. Thank you, Gemma. That startled me a little bit. Okay. Appreciate that. And now I've lost my place. Oh, here we go. Possibly she and Luca will join and fill their bellies before they start their long trip. Tita thinks this just as she completes the curve in the road leading to the straight expanse heading out of town. She is instantly horrified by the reality of the scene before her. I'm guessing they're not cooking animal meat at this point. You're here, but you're online shopping? What are you getting me? I'll give you my address. Just kidding. I think they may be cremating the bodies. Yeah, I have a feeling that's coming too. Let's see. I'm about to turn the page and find out. Most of the remaining townspeople are gathered before her, but this is no happy gathering. On both sides of the road are deep pits hundreds of meters long, dug into the earth, abutting the roadway. Ah, David on the air. Thank you for that host. Why is that? Oh, I see. Okay, I'll see it better now. Thank you for the host, sir. Appreciate it. Inside the pits are the tangles of limbs. Tita comes to an abrupt halt. She stares into the depths of the mass graves, trying to make sense of what she is seeing. No matter how hard she tries, she cannot make out the silhouette of a complete person. The pits appear filled with independent arms, legs, torsos, and heads pointing and stretching in unnatural, impossible positions. Ugh, it kind of makes your stomach uneasy a little bit, I think. The murmurs of voices come from volunteers delivering new bodily offerings to the deathly exhibit. Loved ones are crying, moaning and screaming as their beloved ones are added to the pits. However, The loudest noises appeared to be coming from farther up the road. Tita draws her gaze up the road, taking in the immensity of the ghastly display. Her eyes settle down on the road at the apex of a small hill, where the death troughs end. On top of the hill, a large gathering of citizens circles an enormous bonfire. The large flames dance and dart as they stretch to the sky. Dark black smoke emanates from the tip of the flames and creates an opaque cloud contrasted by the otherwise cloudless blue sky. White flakes swirl on the wind, leaving a coat of white on every surface. Tita's stomach quakes and then lurches as she bends at the waist and vomits the meager meal she ate before leaving her home. Her body shudders as she realizes that the meal she contemplated consuming on her way out of town is the bodies of her dead neighbors. That's, yeah. Yeah. Tita recovers from the weight of her realization. She straightens up and wipes her mouth on her sleeve of her garment. She places her hand on Luca's back and shuttles him forward. Tita keeps her eyes focused on a distant point farther down the road. She refuses to look at her surroundings, and further acknowledge the disaster and loss. By the time they pass the pyre, she and Luca are covered in white ash, virtually carrying the remains of Messina with them. With the pits and pyre behind her, Tita starts her long journey to safety. She finds herself surrounded by a dozen other families, equally coated in white and already road-worn. "Mama, when are we coming back?" asks Luca. "We aren't," Tita flatly responds. "Good," he exults. Wow, what a chapter. That was some intense stuff, Goldie. I can visually see the pits and the burnings because when I've studied history in school, we've seen similar things happen. But man, it's just rough, Like I'm trying to put myself in her shoes with that kind of reality, and it's hard to imagine because it's such a dramatic scene. It's not like anything you would normally see happen in your lifetime, nor should you ever. But it's a real thing, and other people around the world have experienced it, and it makes my stomach churn. So it's doing it for you. Yes, it is. So good job. Thanks, I guess. Man. Alright, we have 30 seconds to a Stream Raiders battle, and we are at chapter 33, or if you're following along, page 341 in the printed copy. I usually stop right around 4 o'clock my time, because then it's, getting stuff ready for dinner, and the next chapter is quite long, so we definitely won't have time. But, the next chapter is Labor Day weekend in Ethan's cabin, early afternoon. So we'll get into that next time, for sure. So, I mentioned in my Discord, I need to talk about this before I do Stream Raiders. This coming week, the schedule is a bit shuffled because of things going on in life. This Thursday, I won't be streaming on Thursday. I am moving the Thursday stream one day, and I'm going to do it on Friday night instead. In the same manner, I won't be able to stream Saturday night because I'm going to be at Hicks's house for a Christmas get-together. So I am moving the Saturday night subs only stream to Sunday night. So I'll still be streaming on Sunday like normal, 2 o'clock Central, but then I'll do the subs only a little later at 7 o'clock. My video froze. Uh-oh, Dark. You probably just have to come out and come back in. Like, leave and come back. So, be aware, I'll post reminders in Discord. And if you are now subbed, and you want to enjoy a subs-only read, you need to be in Discord to do so. I'm reading Ready Player 1, and after that we're going to do Ready Player 2. So, get in the Discord if you're not, especially if you just got subs so you don't miss out. Alright, that being said, let's do our Stream Raiders battle, and then I'm going to look for someone for us to raid. Let's see. What do we got going on in here? We got quite a few archers, so we'll do our high ground like usual. It's pretty a pretty good one for us to do. All right, the battle's beginning. Good luck. Okay, looks like we got a couple people for raiding options. You'll see down below in my About section, there's a panel there for all of the other USG readers. I helped found the group. There's a fantastic bunch of people in there. Definitely check them out if you haven't yet. Give them a follow so that way you get notified when they go live. And then also, I'm proudly part of the Platinum Squad as well. That's where Stunt Mama comes from. Aranel, you just gifted Kebo a sub. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. I appreciate that. Kebo, welcome to the community. Kebo was part of that group, by the way. Alright, good job on the battle. Here There Be Monsters was in the chat earlier. We've rated them before. Based on who's online right now, we're going to raid them again. So, good job with the battle. Let's open this up. Aranel and Zan get the scrolls. Good job, everybody. I appreciate you all so much. Let me just bounce to this scroll over here. I just want to say, again, you guys have blown me away with your generosity and your love and your kindness today. I can't put into enough words how amazing it is to have you all as part of my community. It's been amazing. This journey that we're going on, I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm enjoying every single step of the process to get there. I love you all dearly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My heart is full. And, yeah. So, Goldie says we might finish the book on Sunday. So yeah, my plan there, Goldie, if you're in the Discord, once we get to the end of the book, I would like to add you in a voice chat, and then we can talk to you about this book, if you're up for it. If you're not, that's totally understandable, and that's perfectly fine. But that is my plan. So we'll figure it out as we get a little bit closer, like towards the end. You would love to? Great. So we'll figure that out when we're ready to. I gotta see how it times out. So, yeah. Alright, folks. Thank you again. You're all amazing. Let's get in this raid. Let's go show these guys some love. They're a fantastic group of people. Thank you for being here. You've made my day. You've made my week, honestly. We'll see you on Friday, 7 p.m. Central, to continue this book. I love you all. And remember, you can't change the world on your own, but you can change the world for somebody. Take care. Have a great day.